How's it going, Top 4 Series? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for the Hull City game taking place at the KC Stadium in Hull today. I know it is the KC Stadium, the Kingston Communication Stadium, but I'm not sure if it's had a rename recently, like the MKR or something now. I'm not entirely sure. I should have probably checked before I started recording this, but to me it'll always be known as the KC Stadium. And yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be the game that we were all hoping it to be. We were kind of hoping that, and maybe in some cases expecting it to be that game where we are in position to go up automatically. Unfortunately, we did lose our last game on Tuesday night, and we are looking at playoffs now, which it's not bad. I think it's an incredible achievement to be in the playoffs given where we started the season off, and I think we'll be favourites. I think we'll be confident. I think Cooper's installed a mentality within the camp that any setback, it's not about sort of how you lose the game, it's about how you bounce back. It's about what you do to respond to that is the most important thing. And I think Chris Hughton, I don't know why when I say these videos I just keep saying Chris Hughton instead of Steve Cooper. I don't know why. Steve Cooper, he's really installed that sort of mentality, and he's installed sort of a calmness, I guess. When you lose a game, they're not sort of there panicking and wondering what's going to happen next. They just know what to expect. They've got a calm leader in charge in Cooper, a manager who, has been to the playoffs a couple of times now, and he's suffered 2 playoff defeats, but this time, could he make it 3 times? 3 times the charm, 3rd time lucky, in that sort of thing. I really hope he can, but that loss on Tuesday night, I don't think it'll really affect us too much. I mean, the last time we lost the game, we won 4 on the bounce straight after that, so if we can win 4 on the bounce straight after this, we'll be in the Premiership, in the Premier League, so exactly where we want to be. Like I say, unfortunately it's not going to be the game that we hoped it to be, but it's a big game nonetheless. We want to try and go into the playoffs with a bit of momentum. You don't want to stumble into the playoffs, because like you saw with Leeds and that sort of teams like that who have been in and around that top 2 all season and they just fall short, it means that they've dropped points in games which maybe they shouldn't have done, or they've gone on a little bit of a poor run, and I think they're not going in sort of on that sort of height. They're going in sort of going downwards, and it's the mentality is a bit low and things like that. Like, I remember I've been speaking to one of my friends who's a Lincoln City fan, but he's been watching football for probably 60 years now. He's actually been to at one point he's been to every ground in the football league. There's a few new ones that he hasn't been to yet, but he was talking to me about Forest and the playoffs and stuff, and he just keeps going on about how important it is that you need to be going on a good bit of form, sort of going on a roll rather than stumbling into the playoffs. And I think under Sabri, if we did make the playoffs, I think we would have really struggled, because we only lost twice after lockdown, home to Huddersfield and home to Bristol City. So, we weren't going into it with much confidence, much belief in ourselves, much belief in what we were doing. So it wasn't really going to work. But this time, I think if we can beat Hull and put the devastation, I guess you could say the disappointment from Tuesday night, out of our minds, and just go again and look forward to the playoffs rather than licking our wounds and thinking what could have been, we could be absolutely fine. And I really believe under Steve Cooper that we've got a manager who's not going to let the players to be too focused on what's gone wrong, and just he always focuses on the next game regardless of what games come after that. So he's going to take it one game at a time. Obviously he's got Hull tomorrow, then the playoffs after, Hull today actually, should I say. And it's not like it's like I say, it's not the way we wanted this game to be to go. We wanted it to be that game where we're hoping and praying for a win to get to the Premier League, but we've done exceptionally well to get in this position anyway, and I'm really confident about the playoffs, and hopefully we can go on and win it. So yeah, in terms of this Hull game, it's an interesting one really. I think the main debate is about selection. I've seen a lot of fans on Twitter. Some say we should go as strong as possible and try and build momentum and have the players, winning a game and securing 3rd place with that positivity going into the playoffs. And then I've seen other fans sort of saying maybe drop players, give players a rest. They looked a bit tired, a bit leggy. That second half against Bournemouth. They played a lot of games recently, and it would be nice to give them a rest and to give others an opportunity. And I kind of agree with both sides of it, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of 50-50. I think some players, some of our strong players maybe should play. Brennan Johnson's one that you look at. He hasn't scored in a couple. He's needing a goal, and it's an opportunity for him to play against a team like Hull who should already be on the beach. Not really anything to play for. I think having a team like that to come up against where we should be having a lot of chances and scoring a couple of goals. If you're giving someone like Brennan a chance, and that could really improve his confidence. But then you look at other players, you sort of look at Colback, you look at a bit maybe Spence or the two midfielders in Garner and Yates. It could be an opportunity to drop them a bit, give them a bit of rest. I know he's mentioned Steve Cooper that Cook's not going to be playing in this one. He did suffer sort of a cut to his head against Fulham, and also his dad did unfortunately suffer, I think it was a heart attack before kick-off against Bournemouth, so Cooper's given a bit of time to spend with his family, which is completely understandable, and it's that sort of thing where if you allow a player to do that and you give them the opportunity to do that, then they'll do things for you. If you're sensitive to their situation and their circumstance, and then you allow them, so that you allow the players to take the time that they need, then they're going to be more willing to repay you in performances and that sort of thing, which, I know a player like Steve Cook doesn't really need to do that because he is such a solid professional and someone that will give 120% in every game he plays. But, for other players maybe who, say, for example, maybe like an Ojeda, for example, who could be struggling and missing home, for example, he could say, right, if you need to take a couple of weeks, then take a couple of weeks and go home, see your family, and then come back in a better headspace, for example. It's that sort of thing that when he does get called upon in the league, for example, or if we need him for a cup game or whatever, he's going to remember what Cooper's done and make sure he takes his chance and says thank you for what he did for him. And that sort of thing's huge. It's a lot. It's not just about on the pitch. Being a manager, and it's like in any profession really. If my boss at work saw that I went to her and said, look, I'm struggling with this at the minute, do you mind if I do this? She'll probably, as long as I don't take the Michael, sorry, I was really posh, as long as I don't take the Mickey, she'll be fine with it. She'll respect that and give me the time I need, which then, I'll think, oh, I really appreciate that, and then I'll be willing to work, to maybe go above and beyond what I'm expected to say thank you back, and that sort of thing in football is huge. Like with what he's doing with Cook, giving him the opportunity to spend it with his family, it's huge. It really makes the difference. It shows that he cares about his team, cares about his players, and he's bothered about their home life rather than just on the pitch, which is massive from Cooper, to be fair to him. But yeah, in terms of the lineup, do I go? I mean, obviously, striker-wise, we only have one striker fit, which is Surridge, and he was looking a bit tired. I know Dale Taylor was on the bench for the Swansea game, so could he get a start? Maybe Larson. I'm not too sure how it works. I know on Football Manager you don't have to register players who are under 20, so maybe we could dip into our youth teams who are doing really, really well to give them the credit they deserve. So maybe we could see sort of a Larson or a Taylor, for example, get a run out. I'm not sure how likely that would be, but it's a possibility. I think left back wise, you're going to look at someone like Laya coming in for Colback. I think Colback could do with a bit of a rest. In the middle, maybe starting Cafu and maybe starting. I'm thinking Ojeda, but he hasn't played for so long. Maybe go Garner and Cafu, give Yates a bit of a rest. I don't think Garner plays such of a energetic game as a Yates, so it might be good to give him a bit of a break, but allow Garner to carry on, pull the strings in the middle of the park. Maybe a couple of defenders might switch out. Maybe we might see Panzo in for McKenna or Figueiredo in for Cook, which looks likely to happen. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see how Cooper approach this, and I have full belief and full confidence in whatever he chooses to do, whether he wants to go a defensive, not defensive, so if he wants to go at weaker side and rest players, and that's absolutely fine. If he wants to go the strong side and try and clarify third spot and really build the momentum and the confidence going into the playoffs. And again, I understand. So, I'm not too sure what I would choose myself, but I have full confidence in what Cooper's going to do and what he chooses to do. He's made a lot of correct decisions this season. He's been huge in that, so you can't really doubt him too much. In terms of the scoreline, I'm going to go with Forest. I'm going to go with Forest 3, Hull 1. I think it's going to be a really nice sunny day performance. Score a couple of goals, and it's a party atmosphere in the stands. Just touching on the stands, it's a real shame what's happening with the tickets for Hull, because for me, Hull is the closest Championship away day of the season. Where I live, Hull's not too far away. It's the closest stadium to me in the Championship, and I'd love to have gone. But obviously, and I completely understand this, that given how big this game was supposed to be, priority and points go into account, and I've not been to nearly enough games this season to have the points to probably go to the games and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, I've not been able to make it. I've had other life things and situation. I can't always get to games, but I completely respect that. I think that's fine. But unfortunately, people have seen how the game went on Tuesday night and returned their tickets, which for me is wrong because they are able to get a ticket and people like me, I'm not. But I think it's a shame because I would love to have gone in it. It's an easy, accessible game for me to get to, but people returning to games and returning the tickets. It's a bit of a shame because it does. They were able to get a ticket and fair play to them. They had the points. They had the what's the word? They had the games in the bank this season, if you will, to go to games, and fair play. I completely respect that. Like I completely respect about Wembley. If we get there, that it's not going to be easy for me to get a ticket, as I've not been to as many games as I probably would have liked to this season, and unfortunately, I might not be able to make it, and I completely understand that. But seeing fans in that position where they can go, just saying I'm not going now because of the fact that it's not a potential playoff day, promotion day. They're just saying, "Oh, I'm not going to go. I'll return my ticket." Which I'm not sure if the club's open the tickets up to anybody, but it means that fans like myself who, maybe haven't been able to go to games this season, who rightfully are not within a chance to get the ticket because I've not gone to enough games, so it's not fair that I go. But now they're returning tickets, like it says, well, we can go, but we're not going, and you can't go, and you can't go anyway when there's an opportunity to go. So it's a bit of a shame with that. And I think if you want to go if you're going to go to Forest, then regardless of what position the situation is, you go to the game. Like I went to Middlesbrough at home, the worst game that we've been in a long time. It was the worst, performance, worst amount of desire managerially. It was just a shambles day because it was a day that. Well, not a shambles day. Looking back on it, it was a good day. But Houghton got the sack, and it was an awful performance. But I love going to watch Forest, and when I get the opportunity to go, I'll go. And unfortunately, in this situation, I couldn't go and see people returning tickets because they have the right amount of points to go, but they don't want to go just because Forest aren't going to go up. But I can't go. Either there's now tickets available because of points and stuff. It's a bit of a shame, if they've got the rights to go to the games, you should go to the game regardless of what it means to the season. But I don't know, maybe I'm just waffling. Hopefully you get the point I mean. I'm not slagging anybody off for, I'm not saying the club should allow us to go because we haven't got the points, so fair enough, I understand that. But for those who do have the opportunity to go and they're choosing not to go because of what the game now doesn't mean, it's a bit of a shame, but we move. Anyway, in terms of the scores, like I say, it'll be 3-1 to Forest, I think. I'm going to go with my goal scorers, but I'm not too sure. I'm going to leave that out because I don't know whether or not they're kind of doing a weakened lineup or a strong lineup. So I'm not going to predict that too much. But I hope if Johnson does play, gets a goal or two and picks up his confidence a little bit more. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new to Talk Forest TV and you haven't already. And come on, you Reds, let's end the full season on an absolute high. Come on, you Reds.